Thank you, Dr. Armstrong, and you'll be happy to know that I'm a preacher's kid.
You go.
I want to thank everyone on behalf of the Firmenich Charitable Foundation for this honor. Obviously, this is not why we participate with ChildWIN or with Prevent Child Abuse or any of the other charities, but it is nice to have our efforts and our donations recognized. As Reverend Armstrong said, we were founded in 2010 by a member of the Firmenich family. And our mission has changed and grown and expanded over the last 14 years. We have participated in many different areas, but ChildWIN and Prevent Child Abuse New Jersey were a different kind of partnership for us when we started partnering 4 years ago. We had donated money to a lot of different organizations, but we were also looking for something where our employees could also partner and volunteer, because we felt it was important. As much as charities need money, and they do, we all know that, they need people to volunteer. And this was really our first time with that partnership, with our drives, with our pinwheel gardens, with our mentoring, that we could pair that monetary grant and monetary donation with the opportunity for our employees to volunteer and to work with a charity. And that has expanded. We do give money to affiliates all across the world for something that is important to them in their own community, and we look especially for organizations where our employees can partner with that organization, because the two things must go together. I do think we've had an impact in expanding the world of volunteers. I see Chris Palmer here. He was with Firmenich and became involved with the Pinwheel Garden. And then as he learned about the organization, he wanted to do more. And even though he's not at Firmenich anymore, he is still working with the organization. So I think we also have to remember that when we get involved, we can encourage others to get involved, and it just spreads and spreads and spreads. One thing I thought about when I knew that I was going to say something more than just have a pretty picture with the award was, I want us all to think about why we started volunteering and what it meant to us and what our own goals were, and why we wanted to do it. Reverend Armstrong, it will come as no surprise that I grew up with a family where giving back to the community was very important. It was just sort of part of my DNA growing up. And that's really what it needs to be as part of our DNA, that it's not something over and above. It is just part of who we are and part of what we do. And that's one reason that I wanted to get involved with the Firmenich Foundation. I've been at Firmenich almost 10 years. I've worked with the foundation now on the operating committee and on the board for almost about six years. And it's a way that we can give back even through our work, and I was very proud of the fact that I worked for a company that took volunteering and partnering and donations so seriously. And it speaks volumes about the culture of Firmenich, and that is something that we all hope you can do in your own ways, at work or at home. When it's part of your DNA, it just happens. You pick charities, you pick causes that are important to you, and it spreads. My husband was a food scientist for over 20 years, and 14 years ago went back to school and is now a social worker working with children in Philadelphia. And it was his way of giving back and contributing to society. I am proud to say that my children grew up with that DNA too. My daughter is the head of a developing program in Athens, Georgia, the Community Center for the Aging, and she is developing a program for older citizens with dementia, a community that they have not been able to serve. I'm leaving next week for Austin, Texas, as my son has just finished his master's in public health, and he wants to work in the area of inequities in the availability of healthcare. And so when we as volunteers get involved and people see what we are doing, they follow our actions, and now it's not just me or my husband, it's my children, and it's in their DNA. And I think we can all appreciate that and want to do more. And I just encourage you to think about why you got involved and what your ability to volunteer and donate money, why you started, why you're doing it now, and how you can encourage others to do it in the future. Today is a special day for Firmenich. Not only are we being honored, but I don't know if this is a word, but it is our 1-year mergerversary. 1 year ago today, DSM and Firmenich became one company. I am happy to say that I am working with the board of the DSM Foundation and the board of the Firmenich Foundation so that we can find a path forward together and expand our donations, expand our reach, and encourage every one of our 30,000 employees to pick a cause and a charity that means something to them and get involved. So I am looking forward to seeing all the difference that we can make as DSM Firmenich, not just as Firmenich and the Firmenich Charitable Foundation. So I thank you. I know we'd rather talk about sports. I'm happy to talk football and basketball because I'm a sports fanatic. So I know we want to get to that, but I thank you for the honor. We look forward to continuing our partnership with ChildWIN and with Prevent Child Abuse, and I encourage you all to do the same and to get others involved too. Thank you very much.